Namaskar friends, this is NJ, your host on this channel. Finally, that time of the year has come when we will start having our discussion on the yearly predictions, yearly theme for the year 2025. Now guys, if I were to summarize this word in one line, I would say what a year it is. Year filled with camaraderie, brotherhood and humanitarianism. Your inner light is going to be getting awakened this year. So guys, before we will get into the customized results specific to your rising sign, we will try to understand that how major planets are going to be behaving in this year. So definitely we will first start with how the Hindu lunar year calendar calculations is saying something for this year. So guys, our Hindu calendar, like generally the new year starts from the Chaitra Shukla Pratipada, which as per in the year 2025 is going to be beginning on the March 30th of 2025. Now it is important to know because through this we will get to know that who is going to be the king of this year. So like the Hindu calendar, which will start from the March 30th of 2025 and will be there till April 4th 2026. So during this year, because it is going to be falling on a Sunday, so the king of the year is going to be the planet Sun, and the Mantri, the minister of this year, is going to be the planet Moon. Now guys, whenever Sun and Moon somehow take the precedence over there, you will definitely find a synchronicity between the ruler and the masses. Second thing is that we also get to know a little bit about the year from the Samvatsar calculation as well. Like the way this year, which is filled with, like the year 2024, which is filled with war, and just from the Hindu calendar calculation, a lot was already predicted by many Vedic astrologers, because the minister, the king, the Samvatsar was angry, Krodhi, minister, king was also Saturn and Mars. Now if I were to talk about for this Samvatsar, the name of the Samvatsar is Vishwa Vasu. So that also tells about prosperity, taking care of the people. Like the way it has been believed that those people who are born even in this Samvatsar, they tend to demonstrate very virtuous qualities. So far we got to know from the Hindu calendar calculation that during this year there is going to be a synchronicity between the sun, the primal light and the moon with our subconsciousness, the collective way of thinking and behaving. Along with that guys, now if you want to understand it from what numerology has to say, so year 2025, if you're going to be making a sum total of it, so you will get the universal year as the number 9. Now guys, in numerology, 9 is somehow connected with the brotherhood, which is connected with the philanthropy and humanitarianism. So all these are the qualities which will somehow be taking a precedence. Second thing is that even if you want to understand somehow the theme of this year, so you have to go down the memory lane, like the way the very last time when we have had this universal year, it was in the year 2016. You will make a sum total, you will get the number 9. Now even the highlight or the theme of that year was, people say that okay, number 9 has got something to do with leaving, with finishing, ending all those things which are not serving any purpose. Now what was the major highlight of the year 2016? Brexit. We all know about UK leaving European Union, and like the way in the US elections, Russia was being involved for the spying and all. So somehow similar theme can also repeat over this year. But guys, the good part is that public is going to be a part of whatever the people in the power are going to be behaving. There is definitely going to be a unison, a harmony over there. So that is all what I can say from the Vedic calculation, from the numerology. Now we will try to look at how the three major players in this year are going to be behaving. First is the planet Saturn, then planet Jupiter, and then our favorite Rahu and Ketu. So guys, Saturn is going to be transiting in the sign of Pisces on March 30th. Now how can you look at this transit? So guys, the highlight of this transit is going to be, it will definitely take our attention towards the concerns of spiritual growth, intuitive insight, emotional maturity, karmic resolution. You will definitely find that many people are going to be talking about spirituality, about mental health, about their rights. And guys, the good part is that, trust me, I will not be surprised if this year you will witness many cult group which will be coming into forefront, because along with this, Rahu is also going to be making a foray in the Aquarius, a typical sign of bohemia, of humanitarianism. So like the way there used to be a time in the 60s when there was a wave of the hippie culture, so the world could expect the same wave of rising cult and hippie culture in the year 2025 as well, because we cannot overlook that you have to study everything in synchronicity with the numerology vibration as well. And number 9 has got a lot to do with the giving away things, where you do not get too much interest in that rat race of the materialism. So combining Saturn's presence in the Pisces along with the numerology vibration, Rahu's presence, definitely spirituality and a new age spirituality is going to be the highlight of the year 2025. Along with that guys, Saturn from over here, from the Pisces sign, is going to be giving its third aspect to the Taurus sign. Now definitely Saturn's third aspect is always a very restraining force, so it can definitely pull many investors are going to be pulling out their money from the market. The global market or economy could be little bit restrained in the year 2025. From over here, Saturn is going to be giving its straight aspect to the Virgo sign. So healthcare will definitely experience a boost in the year 2025, where you will definitely find the governments, and this could be United Nations, and all these organizations are going to be very accountable, very responsible towards any of the health crisis. Like there is a very less kind of possibility of any pandemic kind of situation which the world has witnessed when Rahu was transiting in the Gemini in 2019, 2020, which we have witnessed all of that. Along with that, Saturn is going to be giving its 10th aspect, the aspect with which it rewards us for our good karma. So with its 10th aspect, Saturn is going to be looking at the Sagittarius sign. So one thing is for sure guys, that next year, if let's say for example, you are a kind of person who is known for integrity, ethics, values, morals, and you somehow hold this potential to educate, enlighten and inspire the world, and if you're actually consistently, diligently working hard in that direction, so Saturn's transit in the Pisces will definitely reward you. So somehow this transit and its highlight or theme is going to be that all those people who are unconditionally doing something which is very voluntary work, some sort of social work, who are devoted towards the awakening of the inner spiritual light, healthcare related concerns and all, those people are definitely going to be getting benefited in the year 2025 because of the blessing and grace of the planet Saturn. Now guys, the global events which you have to watch out for because of the contribution of the planet Saturn is going to be the water related disaster, increased regulation of pharmaceutical and healthcare industries, breakthrough in marine biology, oceanography, aquatic technologies, growing social movements for emotional intelligence, mental health awareness and spiritual freedom, economic shift in industries related to art, entertainment or spirituality. When we talk about which sectors or people are definitely going to be getting benefited because of the contribution of the planet Saturn, so you will definitely see that there is going to be innovative solutions for the ocean conservation in the year 2025, advancement in the holistic healthcare, global unity through shared spiritual or cultural experiences, increased empathy in international relations, renaissance of traditional art forms and cultural heritage. And guys, like every year from July 13th till November 27th, Saturn is going to be retrograde in the Pisces sign only, which will definitely somehow give it more chasteable. You will definitely have the power of effort, power of endurance to fortify the intent, or this could be the humanitarian intent with which you will be working when Saturn is going to be transiting in the, and it is going to be retrograde in the Pisces sign. Now guys, when we talk about from the point of view of the planet Jupiter, the planet of blessing, good fortune, expansion, Jupiter is the planet which gives us hope, optimism and prosperity in all areas of our life. Now Jupiter is definitely in a very sensitive situation, rather I would say it's in a rush to finish its stay or its transit in the Gemini. Because guys, Jupiter is going to be transiting in the Gemini sign on like May 13th. From May 13th, like imagine it will enter the Cancer sign on October 19th. Now definitely it is going to be turning retrograde again on November 12th, and then again it will enter back in the Gemini in the December 5. But my concern over here is that imagine the pace of Jupiter from May 13th till October 19th. So the point which I'm trying to say over here is that Jupiter's placement and its transit in the Gemini will give results in a very fast paced way. Whatsoever Jupiter's promise is going to be in the Gemini, in your chart, in your life, you will get the results in a very fast paced way. And let's say for example, if you have already important inner planets being placed in the Gemini in your natal chart, you are also in the Jupiter Dasha, experience a blast of the results when in next year from May 13th till October 19th. Now for all those people who are in any capacity connected with the fields of technology, sales, media, networking, communication, these are among those people who will definitely get benefited next year when Jupiter is going to be transiting in the Gemini sign. So guys, some of the probable outcome could be in the form of the explosion of the information. It is going to be extremely blessed time for the creators in year 2025. You will definitely experience a breakthrough in artificial intelligence, robotics and cyber security, advancement in 5G, 6G, quantum computing, and social media will evolve like the way no one would have imagined. And there is definitely going to be virtual and augmented reality advancements which we all will be experiencing in the year 2025. And now guys, finally our favorite Rahu and Ketu. So in the month of May, around May 19th only, Rahu is going to be transiting in the sign of Aquarius and Ketu is going to be transiting in the Leo sign. Now guys, the good part about this placement is that we cannot even overlook that this axis is little bit karmic in nature as well. In the original Kal Purush Kundli, Leo is the sign or fifth house is connected with the past life merits, Pur Punya as well. Within the Leo sign, you will find somehow the own nakshatra ruled by Ketu, which is the Magha. In the Aquarius, you will find in the core, in the heart of the Aquarius, you will find the nakshatra ruled by the planet Rahu, which is the Sadbhisha. So that means somehow they have got very strong affinity whenever Rahu is in the Aquarius and Ketu is transiting in the Leo. So that in itself means, guys, let's say for example, if you have sown seeds for being recognized, this year can grant you that sort of popularity, that sort of fame. If you are completely dedicated and devoted towards I always get confused with this word, revolutionizing the face of technology, this year can give you a chance for that. If you have those humanitarian intent to give back to the society, make world a better place. Irrespective of judging someone's caste, creed, color, bringing the world together, this year can grant you that sort of platform, that sort of voice, that sort of position to influence or change the world. And definitely guys, with Ketu's placement in the Leo sign, you will definitely have got some sort of expertise which you will demonstrate or manifest in your life in this year. So guys, after getting a brief idea about all the planets behaving in this year, how our Vedic Chaitra Shukla Pratipada New Year calendar calculation is predicting, and also getting a brief idea from the synopsis from the numerology, now we will shift our discussion customized to your rising sign and the yearly predictions for the year 2025. So friends, before we will get into the customized results for your rising sign, I just like to wish all the Gemini rising natives a very happy new year. May all of your wishes come true this year. So guys, now starting with first we will try to understand the theme which I have written for you guys for this year. So year will be filled with hardship and many challenges at the workplace, but at the same time will promise successful events like marriage, childbirth, and many foreign travels. Very promising year for updating your skills through enrollment to some on the job certification or learning programs. Now guys, digging deeper, now when we talk about the attributes of your first house, which tells about your health, which tells about your public image and the overall well-being of the life. So Jupiter will formally enter this house on May 13th, demanding to clean your acts and to increase your moral compass, because it's not only Jupiter is going to be transiting over your first house, the planet of righteousness, but also Saturn is going to be in your 10th house as well, the planet of justice, who is going to be monitoring your actions. So that means your thought process, your physical personality, but also the actions done by you are going to be under the scrutiny of some very important planets this year. So it's a very promising year for promotion, added responsibilities, and expansion in your area of influence. Many much awaited auspicious events could materialize this year. Now guys, I will be taking you through different houses when in the transit your first house lord, your ascendant lord, is going to be forming some kind of Raj Yoga in the transit, in which all months. So guys, January is going to be good for you because 6th and 7th transit of your ascendant lord, like 6th house transit of your ascendant lord and 7th house transit of your ascendant lord in the month of January is going to be good for the business. When we reach the February, so in the month of February, your ascendant lord Mercury is going to be transiting from the 8th house and the 9th house, the territory of the planet Saturn, which is auspicious planet for you. So it is going to be good for investments, research, and for travels. Now March, April, May is going to be sensitive because your ascendant lord is going to be a part of the motley combination of the planets getting conjunct in your 10th house. So the points which I have written for these 3 months for you is that in the months of March, April, May, you will witness major dramatic events at your place. Now guys, when I say drama, when I say dramatic events, it can happen in any so ways. Whenever nature is sensitive, powerful people gain the reins. You know, I mean to say that there could be those people who are like very timid, they cannot handle any big challenge, any big reshuffling, restructuring. Let's say for example, you were aligned to or you were comfortable in doing your job in a certain way, your reporting being aligned to a specific boss, but suddenly some changes happened and you got to be the part of those people who are just kind of politicizing thing or kind of grouping against the management. So that could be the one category of people. Another category of the achievers club could be that just because this restructuring happens and now the management is looking for the fresh to elevate them to the new leadership role, and you took that kind of opportunity, initiative, you walked to the new management and just asked for that, okay, you are ready to undertake that new responsibility, you are ready to burn the midnight oil or work extra hours to get accustomed to this new setting. So this is what I'm trying to say. So but there is a very high possibility that in these 3 months, with this combination taking place in your 10th house, there will be major revamp which life will make you go through. Along with that guys, the month of June, so definitely we know that your ascendant lord is going to be transiting back and right over there in your first house, which is good for your personal branding, business, and public speaking. Mercury in itself represents public speaking only. The months of September and October, when your ascendant Lord Mercury is going to be transiting from your like third house, fourth house, fifth house. So that means from the Leo sign, Virgo sign, Libra sign. So September and October seems to be good for the opportunities. And finally, November and December, when your ascendant Lord is going to be retrograde in the sixth house, in the Scorpio sign, during those 2 months, November and December, you might face some issues at your workplace. Now guys, moving ahead, now the matters of the second house, how the attributes of the second house is going to be treating you in the year 2025. Second house, which tells about your finances, which tells about your family, which tells about your speech, your eating habits and all, your I would say your inculcated values. When we talk about those pledges and those vows which we take, somehow second house and the strength of the second house has got a very strong role to play over there. So guys, during this year, see, in your case, I always say this thing, understand this thing in this way, that whenever we are talking about any major planetary shift which is taking place, now definitely it influences the world on a global level. If you're also running the dasha of the same planet, they also influences you. But the beauty is that wheresoever you have the Cancer sign, the lord of that becomes the planet Moon. Now Moon in its journey will be crossing and traveling the whole zodiac belt. So now, just because the major planet have shifted, so now because Saturn is in the Aquarius, in whichever day Moon is going to be getting conjunct with Saturn, so your second lord is going to be making some yoga. In whichever days the transiting Moon, now when Jupiter is in the Gemini, is going to be getting conjunct with it, it is going to be forming some yoga. But who is forming a yoga? Your second lord. Who is getting benefited? Your second house. That's what I wanted to say. So guys, the points which I have written for you, this year on daily basis, you get major financial outcomes on the days when transiting Moon, your second lord, is going to be, I said financial outcome because the second lord becomes the Moon. So this year on a daily basis, you get major financial outcomes on the days when transiting Moon, your second lord, is going to be conjunct with Jupiter in your first house after May 13th. So that means those could be the good days when the transiting Moon is going to be conjunct with the Jupiter in your first house after May 13th for spending on yourself or for your personal branding. The days when the transiting Moon is going to be conjunct with Saturn in your 10th house after March 30 will be good time for investments, spending on business, and talking about finances. You want to talk about your investments, you want to talk about your raise, any of the profits, revenue, sales target, so all of that. So the days when transiting Moon is going to be conjunct with the Saturn in your 10th house could be, those 2.5 days could be good for that. And along with that, when the transiting Moon, your second lord, is going to be conjunct with Rahu in your 9th house after May 18th, will be a good time for paying for travels or some online certification courses which you want to do. And lastly guys, when you're transiting second lord is going to be conjunct with Ketu in your third house after May 18th, will be a time for sudden spendings on business resources, travels, and mode of communication. Now you want to set up a new website or you want to dig deep into something, so that could be a good day when transiting Moon is going to be conjunct with Ketu in your third house. Now guys, when we talk about your third house, so the matters of the third house, which we know that it tells about your communication, resourcefulness, your power to take initiative, influence the world with your self-expression and all. Very important house for the writers, for the performing artists and all. So the points which I have written for you in the matters of the third house is that the very first thing is guys that Ketu will formally enter this house on May 18th and will add a depth in your skills, communication, and mental aptitude. Superficiality will not help after May 18th. You have to be perfectionist, or you have to have strong idea what you are talking about, the way you are expressing yourself. Every move of yours have to be well calculated after May 18th. And if you will work in a fashion what Ketu acknowledges, trust me, omens will help you. After that, guys, there will be a provision to work with a piercing focus towards your goals. Be prepared to have a restricted social circle of people with extreme views and opinions. Those with years of dedicated work in a specific field or craft will get rewarded this year, definitely based on your third lord, Sun's monthly transit. We know that in the months of like April and like August, September, when your third lord is going to be well placed in its own territory or exalted, whether in the third house or the 11th house, will be good days for that. Now guys, moving ahead. Now when we talk about the matters of your fourth house, inner emotional security, matters of construction, housing, real estate and all, your command over the public. So guys, in your fourth house as well, we know that over here as well, the rulership goes to your ascendant lord. So what we can see over here during this year, so this house will receive the straight aspect of planet Saturn after March 30th. Life will put you through many tests to make you emotionally mature and strong. Again guys, whatever test and trial Saturn makes us go through, there is always a deep life lesson for us. Now just because Saturn is going to be giving a straight aspect to your fourth house, so that in itself means, and guys understand this thing, whenever we talk about like first house, seventh house, so first house is us, and seventh house is a part of our life which we share with our partner. Second house is our finances. Eighth house is a part of our finances, a part of our body of our finances which we share with our partner in the form of the joint resources. So that is what we say, that house opposite or the seventh house is always the rest of the part of the body. So I mean to say that if you actually have to function well in your career, you need to be emotionally mature and strengthened to handle any pressure of responsibilities, and this is what Saturn will teach you this year. Along with that guys, with Jupiter in your first house and Saturn aspecting your fourth house, constructing a house or buying an apartment is possible this year. Now again guys, this might happen because of the case that a lot many times you are sick and tired of being shifting from one place to another place, signing up one lease to another lease. So I mean to say, you know, we know this thing that in your case as well, there's a strong possibility that with Jupiter in the first house, it always promises auspicious events. Saturn is going to be transiting in your 10th, giving seventh aspect to your fourth house. So yes, so this whole alignment seems to be supportive for anything to do with constructing a house or buying an apartment. Looks like to be possible. And guys, when we talk about those in the public seats, will have a golden opportunity to gain command over the public. We always say this thing that if you have to have a control over the masses, there is a thing which we call in Hindi, janta pe chha jana. So to win over the hearts of the masses or the public, so fourth house and Saturn plays a very important role. In your case, they both are getting somehow connected through the dots. So I mean to say, if you are a politician, you are a athlete, you are a celebrity in any genre, in any category, this could be a good year for you. Now guys, when we talk about the matters of the fifth house, so definitely fifth house, which tells about your personal magnetism, artistic creative endeavors, your academic talents, spirituality, power or mastery over mantras and all. So the points which I have written for your fifth house is that your fifth house will be receiving the fifth aspect from the planet Jupiter after May 13th, which will bring success in the matters of progeny, academics, or any performing sporting events. Regarding all of that, this year seems to be favorable for you. The specific months, like the months of January, February, and March, your fifth lord becomes the planet Venus. So in the months of January, February, March, planet Venus is going to be transiting from your ninth house and 10th house. So that means going from the territory of the planet Saturn, then getting exalted in your 10th house. So this transit, the months of January, February, March, is good for travels, higher studies, investments, job placement and career. Now, no investments and risk should be taken in the month of April. We know this, the whole motley combination of the planets and the war zone getting created in your 10th house, and your fifth lord is going to be part of it. It is going to be retrograde as well. So that means no investment and risk should be taken in the month of April. Majorly throughout the year, guys, your fifth lord Venus is in a good dignity, which means substantial opportunities for the creative professionals. Now guys, when we move to your sixth house, so definitely guys, sixth house, which tells about your expertise in any field, your command over anything, something to do with the competition, health, your daily life. So what we can find out over here in the matters of your sixth house, over where you will find the presence of a planet which is not very friendly to you, which is the planet Mars. So the points which I have written for you is that almost till June, your 6th and the 11th lord Mars will be transiting in your first and the second house. Mars is going to be very adamant, I am not gonna leave your first house and the second house. So the beneficial part about this is that if you will be in need of any loan, credit or borrowings for any aspiration of yours, it will be easily attainable. But the vulnerable part is that competitors will be strongly monitoring you, and a strong yoga of getting betrayed by people who will be very close to you or who will be highly trusted by you. So be very careful. Now guys, in the month of July, your third house, transiting planet Mars, is going to be getting conjunct with Ketu in your third house. Although that is a different case, that Mars in the Leo is dignified. The concern is with the involvement of Ketu, it can make someone very explosive, impulsive, extremely critical. So in the month of July, if I were to say, it is supportive for a power pack performance or display of your talent. Guys, if I were to say, I was watching this recent, in Vanita Ji's one of the video where the guest was talking about that he looks at Ketu or give importance to Ketu when it comes down to your expertise in photography and filmmaking. That actually makes sense. I will talk about that in some separate video. So okay, so now talking about that, now when we talk about the months of August and September, so guys, in the months of August and September, your 6th lord planet Mars is going to be transiting in your 4th house in the Virgo, so which is supportive for house renovation or construction concerns, because when Mars is going to be in the 4th house of yours, it is going to be receiving the straight aspect from the planet Saturn as well. So I would say that any renovation, demolition, construction concerns can be considered in the months of the August and September. And yes guys, when we talk about the months of November and December, so your 6th lord planet Mars is going to be strengthened in its own territory, which will be good for service professionals or for those who have to give any competitive exam. So guys, in many ways this year is good for you, Mars transiting from those houses, Ketu being in the 3rd house and all. So yes, for competition, proving your prowess, your talent, showcasing your talent and all. So the year seems to be good, and even Venus is in strong dignity. So I would say that this year will give many opportunities to the creative professionals and all. Now guys, when we talk about the 7th house, which tells about your commercial interest, which tells about your public image, which tells about matrimonial concerns, visa, settlement and all of that we see from the 7th house. So pertaining to the matters of your 7th house, we find the energy of the planet Jupiter. The good part is that your 7th house is going to be receiving the dual aspect this year. What Scorpio was getting benefited in the 2024, Sagittarius is going to be getting benefited in the 2025. So this house will be receiving the dual aspect this year, with the change in the movement of slow moving planets, which will ensure success in the matters of business, marriage, visa approval, and strengthened public image. Now guys, moving ahead. Now see guys, in any of the worshful, in any of the yearly predictions, 8th house becomes very important, because this is the only house which has got this capacity to completely topple someone's life, completely turn things around. So I mean to say, now what I can find out in the matters of your 8th house. Now guys, in your case, for the Gemini natives, the good thing is that Saturn has got a rulership of both your 8th house and the 9th house. So that means, and Saturn is a very auspicious planet for you, because the Mool Trikona sign falls in the 9th house, trine house. So that means the big lessons in the life will be very transformative for you, might come with some hidden challenge or hidden threat, but this is where the life and the luck will support you, or the deeper wisdom will enter in your life. So I mean to say, the points which I have written for your matters of the 8th house. So your 8th and the 9th lord will move to your 10th house on March 30th, which means the extract of your deep research, leap of faith, unexpected good fortune is going in the house of career, which will manifest in the form of challenges or opportunities. This house does not pose any direct threat to Gemini Lagna this year. So I did a whole research, and also I'm not finding Capricorn, which happens to be falling in your 8th house, to be coming in any line of fire. Now guys, when we talk about the matters of your 9th house, when we talk about any of the long distance travels, higher learning, we see from the 9th house. So Rahu's entry after May 19th here will have many strong benefits for the Gemini Lagna this year. Rahu is a very benefic planet for your Lagna, and a combination of Rahu, Aquarius and the 9th house is a very fortunate combination. Now understand it in this way. Rahu individually means ascending into future, into possibilities. Aquarius means futuristic, innovative knowledge, and 9th house means divinity, dharma and ancestors. So make a combination of it. Ascending into future, of futuristic, innovative knowledge, where you are in the path of and well supported by dharma, divinity and your ancestors. So it is a very fortunate combination for you guys. The next point for the 9th house related matters this year, you will be attracted more towards scientific, tech enabled, new age sciences, teachers and platforms. Many opportunities for people who are engaged in the fields of technology or involved in any large group, big movements, political or social. So guys, let me repeat these 2 points again. So you will be attracted more towards scientific, tech enabled, new age sciences, teachers and platforms. So new age guru and all of that. So just don't end up becoming a hippie. That is one thing which I want to say. But yes, anything which is very new age will definitely catch your attention or your fancy. And when I said this thing, that people who are engaged or looking forward to opportunities in large group, big movements in the society. Like the way guys, I remember before moving to Canada, in India, in the capital city Delhi, this one very big movement happened, brought by Anna Hazare ji. It happened in US, Black Lives Matter and all. So I mean to say, in any capacity, whether for a social work, for any of those charitable causes or something, where you are working towards gathering large group of people for some humanitarian or making world a better place, or with that utopian mindset, if you are engaged in any way with these kind of large group movements and all, this year will support you. Now guys, moving to your 10th house, which tells about your relationship with the authority figures, your public image, and what kind of task you will perform this year. Again guys, the result of your action is in the 11th house. 10th house, when planets are strong in your 10th house, don't ask for the rewards, ask for the platform to work, because the result will definitely come, but 10th house will give you opportunities to work. So guys, the points which I have written for you: Saturn's formal entry on March 30th in this house will make things slow or cumbersome for you guys in the matters of your career. Saturn is a very heavy planet coming to your 10th house. That means now you will be held accountable. Your audit will happen. Your bosses might not be very easy to be pushed around or to be maneuvered into getting things done. You might have to sweat or work hard to earn their trust. But this year will also pave a path towards consideration for promotion or major responsibilities. It is a typical yoga when people get anointed as the head of states or come out victorious in any political elections. Definitely guys, if Saturn wants you to work extra, so that can only happen if it will attach more designation, promotion or responsibility to you. So that all could happen during this year. So you have this capacity to impact the world with your actions, with your efforts during this year. Now guys, when we reach your 11th house, which is the house of your wish fulfillment, which is the house of your network or large group network association and all, what you will end up becoming in the life, what kind of group you associate or you connect with. So guys, in the matters of your 11th house, over here as well, you will find the energy of the planet Mars, which is not a very friendly planet for your Lagna. So let's see what we can figure out over here. So guys, the 11th Lord will be spending a major time twisted and frustrated in your first and the second house. So for the first few months, and then getting conjunct with Ketu in your third house. So I would say that for the very first half of the year, let me repeat, 11th Lord of yours will be spending a major time twisted, frustrated in your first house, second house, then getting conjunct with Ketu in your third house, and this is going to be a theme for the first 6 months of the year. So that means desires and wishes will keep many restless this year. Lesson of contentment needs to be embraced. Point number 2 is that social life needs to be strictly monitored as their influence seems to be more demanding and depleting your resources and energies. So definitely guys, this is what even Ketu demands from you, being there in your third house. Ketu has this tendency to restrict your circle only to those people who are actually your well-wisher or where there is a common ground of compatibility. And I guess there have been those kind of videos going on the YouTube as well. Why it is better to look poor, why it is better to have a minimalistic kind of lifestyle and all. So I guess this is one such kind of genre or category or those lessons which the Gemini Lagna natives need to learn for this year. And that is the only reason guys I carved out these points specific to you. So again, I'll if I were to say again, desires and wishes will keep many restless this year because the 11th Lord is in a very state of agitation. So lessons of contentment will be very much rewarding for you. Otherwise, Saturn will have its own lessons, or Saturn has got its own way of, kind of teaching you. Or Jupiter being in the first house, those righteousness, lessons of morals and all will bound you. So, contentment is very important this year, and like the way I mentioned, social life needs to be strictly monitored as you do not seem to be gaining much from them. Rather, either they will be depleting you, asking your help, asking you for money or support and all. So depleting you of your resources and energies. So people you associate or socialize with, so pick your circle, your friend circle very carefully this year. And lastly guys, when we talk about the matters of the 12th house, now guys, 12th house becomes very important. Now you have to understand this thing. When we talk about the attributes of the 12th house, people have this general notion that okay, 12th house just tells about the expenses, or 12th house tells about moksha. So understand it in this way, that if you will look at it from the second house, which is the house of your finances, from the second house, in order for you to reach the 12th house, you have to go 11 places ahead of it, and the 11th house, which is the house of the income and all, it is second from it. So that means 12th house also tells about the kind of investments which you do, which keep you safe and secure for the rest of the life. So I mean to say, 12th house in a way also becomes very important, the kind of and the quality of spendings and investments which you make in the life. So guys, the points which I have written pertaining to the matters of the 12th house, because this house becomes very important because it is in the control or influence of the planet Saturn during this year. Guys, what I have found in my research is that no matter we talk about other aspect, but the third aspect of the planet Saturn tend to remain little bit restraining. So your 12th house will be receiving the third aspect from the planet Saturn after March 30, which means provisions for many major investments. There could be issue of sleeplessness, or because of the work staying out of home for many days in a row. So I'll repeat, there could be issues of sleeplessness, or because of work staying out of home for many days in a row, because it's very obvious, Saturn from the 10th house is not only giving its third aspect to your 12th house, but also it is looking with its straight aspect to your 4th house as well. So yes, Saturn aspecting both 4th and 12th, issues of sleeplessness, or I would say that okay, if you're a kind of person who's very driven, who's very ambitious, so make it a healthy balance. Like okay, if there have been those days when you worked with just 3 hours of sleep, so try to compensate it when the pressure is getting diminished a little bit, or when you have time, at least support it with healthy food, or on the off days if you can take out time for some spa, or compensating your sleep, or healthy diet, or detox, or anything, but compensate that, because this is going to be the theme during this year. But trust me, that will reward you. All those extra efforts you will put, extra miles you will walk, and sleepless nights or burning midnight oil will be rewarded, because Saturn is a planet of justice. Justice will be served whatever sacrifices you will be doing in the matters of your career. And lastly guys, it is a very blessed time for the yogis and the spiritual seekers. Definitely guys, we say this thing that okay, siddhi, blessing, it comes from the Jupiter. It is transiting right over your head in your first house. So yes, a very blessed time for the yogis and the spiritual seekers. So yes guys, this is something which I wanted to say as a part of my inputs. For further more updates and notifications on the divine science of Vedic astrology, please subscribe to my YouTube channel and follow me on my Instagram account. Dhanyavad.